get this for a start. Imagine an inventor, right? So incredibly creative, so just relentless, that they actually filed more patents than Thomas Edison.
Wow, more than Edison.
We're talking about someone who, at their absolute peak, racked up over 4,700 patents worldwide.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't that just blow your mind a little?
It's an absolutely staggering number, isn't it? Putting that into perspective, it places this guy, Kia Silverbrook, like right up there among the most prolific inventors in all of human history.
Exactly.
And this isn't just about, the sheer volume of stuff he created. It really speaks to an almost unparalleled drive. So today, we're not just looking at what he made, but really trying to understand what was behind it, what drove him to that extraordinary, almost obsessive level.
Yes, that's it, that massive human drive. That's what we want to unpack today. So our mission for this deep dive is to really get into the fascinating, sometimes turbulent, but definitely inspiring legacy of Kia Silverbrook. We'll look at that avalanche of inventions, try to grasp the unique challenges he faced being such a pioneer, and hopefully pull out some universal lessons his journey offers, for anyone out there who dares to dream big.
Right. And what really stands out for me here is that this isn't just a story about machines or patents, It's fundamentally a human story.
Totally.
It's about that relentless, often kind of chaotic pursuit of an idea. It's about the courage it takes to face doubt, skepticism when you're pushing boundaries, and that sheer persistence needed to create a future before the world's even ready for it. That human element behind all that innovation, it's really captivating and sometimes honestly a bit heartbreaking too.
For sure. For many of us, creativity feels like, I don't know, a lightning strike, something rare.
Fleeting.
Yeah, fleeting. But for Kia Silverbrook, born in Sydney back in 1958, it seems like it was something else entirely, like a constant current, maybe, an endless spring of ideas. You hear about kids playing with toys, right? Well, Silverbrook wasn't just playing. He was taking machines apart with this real hunger, this curiosity that went way beyond just fun.
He needed to know how it worked.
Exactly. Not just how it worked, but how to make it better. He was constantly questioning, reimagining, reinventing the world around him, even as a kid.
And that innate hunger, that restless curiosity, that really became his compass, didn't it? It guided everything.
Seemed like it.
I mean, by his early 20s, he was already right there at the cutting edge. He was contributing to Fairlight Instruments.
Oh yeah, the synthesizer company.
Exactly. The company that was basically revolutionizing digital synthesizers at the time. Can you imagine the buzz? Being part of shaping the sound of an entire era?
Incredible.
Knowing your designs were literally creating the music people would hear for years. But here's the fascinating part. Even revolutionizing music wasn't enough for him. For Silverbrook, innovation was. It feels like it was both this amazing gift and maybe a kind of burden, too. Like, the second one idea came to life, another one was right there demanding his attention.
That's a really striking way to put it. Captures that dual nature, right? So this constant pull, this restless energy that just wouldn't quit. How did that take him from Fairlight to what people call this avalanche of inventions?
Well, that internal engine was just always firing. It meant that, unlike a lot of inventors we remember for maybe one big thing.
Like the light bulb or the telephone?
Right. Silverbrook's ideas weren't stuck in one box. He just burst onto the scene with this flood of innovation across incredibly diverse fields. I mean, yeah, digital printing was huge, but also computing, even things like medical diagnostics, solar energy. He built this vast, intricate web.
Okay, so within that huge range, his most famous contribution, the one that really made waves commercially, that's memjet inkjet technology, right?
That's the one. Memjet's the cornerstone. Absolutely.
What made it so revolutionary? How did it actually compete with, the giants like HP and Epson who'd been doing this forever?
Okay, so what Memjet does is fundamentally different. Instead of a little print head zipping back and forth.
Yeah, the way my desktop printer works.
Exactly. Memjet uses what are called page-width print chips. Now picture this. Thousands upon thousands of tiny nozzles and microheaters built onto silicon wafers. It's this amazing micro-electro-mechanical system.
MEMS technology.
Precisely, MEMS. Basically microscopic machines on silicon. And these chips print an entire line right across the page all at once.
Ah, Okay, so no back and forth?
No back and forth. This allows for incredible speeds. We're talking pages per second, not pages per minute.
Pages per second.
Per second. The impact was huge. It completely shook up commercial and industrial printing, going head-to-head with the big guys. You find memjet tech now in everything from super-fast desktop printers to industrial label and packaging production.
That's a massive leap. But getting something like that to actually work reliably, it couldn't have just been that one big idea, surely.
Yeah.
What were the other connected bits, the other patents that made it all hang together?
Exactly right. It wasn't just the print head. It was a whole ecosystem of innovation, like a fortress of ingenuity he built around it.
Okay, like what?
Well, for instance, think about handling paper moving at pages per second. You can't smudge it, right?
Right, it'd be a mess.
So he developed these unique edge paper feed systems, special rollers that only touch the very, very edges of the paper. Super gentle, super precise.
Clever.
And then controlling all those thousands of nozzles. That needed advanced integrated circuits for print head control. These are the smart chips doing the heavy lifting, firing ink droplets with like nanometer precision.
Nanometer?
Yeah. And then how do you actually make these incredibly complex print heads affordably? He pioneered new manufacturing methods using techniques like photolithography, essentially using light to etch patterns onto silicon wafers to make mass production viable.
So the manufacturing process itself was an invention.
Absolutely. And even the ink. He developed specialized ink compounds designed specifically for his high-speed, high-temperature systems. Better quality, fewer clogs. It was this whole meticulously engineered symphony.
That level of detail is just amazing. It really shows the depth. But okay, to really get the full picture of Silverbrook's vision, we need to look beyond even memjet, right?
Yeah.
What else was he working on?
Oh, the list is just astonishing. He was also pioneering interactive digital paper. He called it hyperlabel.
Hyperlabel, what's that?
It was this really visionary idea trying to fuse the physical and digital, basically printing invisible, super dense codes onto paper.
Invisible codes.
Yeah, that special optical pens could read. You'd scan the paper and it would link to digital content, websites, whatever. It was way ahead of its time, a clear precursor to stuff we see now with augmented reality and smart devices.
Yeah, I can see that link.
And naturally, that work involved developing the actual optical pens and sensors needed for the system. Foundational tech for modern tablet pens. He even got into RFID technology. You know, the little tracking tags.
Yeah, on products in stores.
Exactly. He figured out ways to integrate the antennas directly onto labels during the printing process. That drastically cut the cost of tags, which is huge for logistics supply chains.
Okay, that's clever. Printing RFID.
And it didn't stop there. He made big strides in image sensors and cameras too, exploring new ways to capture and process visual information. The breadth is just incredible.
It really is. So his strategy seems clear. Build this massive, almost overwhelming intellectual property empire. Protect every tiny aspect with thousands of connected patents, like building walls around entire industries.
A fortress of ideas,
Yeah.
absolutely, designed to dominate.
But, and there's often a but with this kind of huge success and output,
Yeah.
that very ambition, that scale, it started attracting not just admiration, but also suspicion, pressure. This is where it gets kind of complicated.
Yeah, the controversies definitely became a big part of his story. His company, Silverbrook Research, was undeniably this patent powerhouse, churning them out like crazy. But that sheer volume started drawing criticism. Some people accused him and his team of, like, exploiting a mechanical system.
Exploiting it? How?
Well, the argument was they weren't just patenting inventions, but patenting everything imaginable around them, every tiny variation, even maybe hypothetical stuff, to build this completely impenetrable IP wall.
Ah, okay. Blocking competition.
Strategically, maybe brilliant for licensing later or defense, yeah. But that sheer breadth sometimes clashed with actually getting products out the door. This led to, well, lawsuits started mounting up, business partners got nervous.
Right.
And a lot of the revolutionary products, while amazing on paper, struggled to materialize as quickly as investors wanted. So the question started bubbling up. Could one person really innovate at this scale? Was he a genius, or maybe a visionary who got kind of blinded by his own ambition, stretching too far beyond the practical?
That doubt, that must be crushing.
It's incredibly powerful, that skepticism.
Yeah, and you really have to feel for the struggle of being that kind of pioneer. It's so easy to look back now and praise someone once their ideas have changed everything.
Hindsight is 20/20.
Totally. But what about those long, hard years when your ideas seem like decades ahead, when the money's tight, when the world's kind of looking at you sideways, whispering, maybe he's just a dreamer. Maybe it's too much. That's the lonely part of real innovation, isn't it? And Silverbrook lived that constantly. The emotional toll must have been immense.
Absolutely. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, being a pioneer is almost always lonely. Many of Silverbrook's ideas, brilliant as they were, just seemed too futuristic, too disruptive for existing industries to easily adopt.
The market wasn't ready.
Exactly. His brilliance sometimes burned, maybe brighter than the marketplace could handle, or even the existing infrastructure. It's like, imagine running a marathon, not just ahead of the pack, but so far ahead you can't even see the finish line anymore or the world you're trying to bring with you.
Yeah, that gap.
That was his challenge. His own genius, his nonstop innovation could also be this huge burden, creating this gap between his vision and what was immediately possible or acceptable.
But here's the thing that just gets me. Despite all of it, the lawsuits, the skepticism, the sheer chaos of running these cutting-edge companies, Silverbrook never stopped.
Kept going.
He just kept going. And for me, that's maybe his most extraordinary quality. This stubborn, almost defiant refusal to let adversity put out that creative fire. It's genuinely inspiring when you think about it.
It really is. His journey is such a powerful example of just sheer resilience. For him, invention wasn't, like you said, a single spark. It was a wildfire. When he got blocked in one area or a door closed, he didn't just, pack it in. He leaped somewhere else, found new paths, new challenges. He carved new windows when the door shut. And that brings up a really important question for all of us, doesn't it? Isn't that the real core of resilience? It's not about avoiding failure. It's about that grit, that persistence despite failure.
Keeping going when it's tough.
Exactly. Learning to keep creating even when the path is rocky, when success seems miles away, when maybe the world thinks you're crazy.
That is a powerful thought. And it points straight to the universal message. From his whole journey, I think. The path of the visionary is hardly ever smooth, right?
Almost never.
It's usually littered with obstacles, with cynics, with people who just don't get it yet. But it's precisely on that bumpy, difficult road that humanity finds its next big breakthroughs.
That's where the progress happens.
Yeah. His story isn't just about patents and tech. It's about the profound courage it takes to keep creating. When the applause stops, when the world isn't sure, when the critics are circling. It's about daring to believe in something that doesn't even exist yet.
The audacity of it.
So, okay, bringing it back. What does all this mean for you listening right now? Thinking about Silverbrook's incredible, messy story. Ask yourself, how many of your own ideas have you maybe silenced? Pushed aside because you were afraid of being laughed at or misunderstood? How many dreams, projects, visions are locked away because you worried you were too far ahead or just not ready? What if that thing you're holding back, that kind of crazy idea, what if that could actually change things? Your world, maybe even the wider world?
It's such a vital question. And what's fascinating here, I think, is that you don't need 4,700 patents to make a real mark.
Definitely not.
What you do need is that same quality, persistence, that ability to get back up every single time doubt knocks you down. The audacity to imagine something better even when the present seems totally stuck. For Silverbrook, you get the sense that the challenges weren't roadblocks, they were just proof he was on a journey worth taking, a journey that demanded everything.
And that really is our call to action for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't wait. Don't wait for the world to be ready for your idea. Act now. Create now. Take the risk now. Because history doesn't really remember the people who played it safe, who waited for permission. It remembers the ones who dared to dream outrageously, who built futures before the present even knew would hit it.
Yeah, Kia Silverbrook's journey. It is complex, it's messy, it's full of contradictions for sure. But maybe that's the biggest inspiration, that greatness doesn't demand perfection. It just demands that boundless persistence and a refusal, an absolute refusal to ever stop imagining what's next. And in that refusal, that human tenacity. Well, that's where we find our own call. Keep dreaming, keep creating, keep going.
Because the next amazing leap the world needs.
It might just come from you.